with the Dirt and Snow channel. If you haven't heard, I have a promotional code with Custom Offset, so if you are looking at building, please click on that. It's really going to help me out getting more products on this truck to test out for your viewing pleasure. But for right now, I want to come at you and let you know kind of the story on how I ended up with a Ram 2500. I don't really have any bias towards or away from any of the other big three manufacturers. I really wanted a diesel truck, and through a previous job where we were lifting trucks, I became very familiar with the GM platform and decided, you know what, I didn't want to have to deal with upper control arms, independent front suspension as I was trying to lift this, because I was trying to do the lift kit myself. I also had some issues with the GM platform and sort of these small tires that you've got to put on there. Even with the newer GM diesel heavy duty trucks, you can get a bigger tire in there than traditionally, but you're still only looking at a 35 under a leveling kit, where I was able to get 37s. I've always thought that bias was kind of stupid in this industry. If you work in a mechanic shop long enough, you'll kind of see that they all have their own different basket of problems. And once you hit about 100,000 miles, you're going to be out the same amount of money in operating costs and repair costs. It's just kind of choose your own adventure at that point, to be honest. Rewind back to fall of 2020, the car market is kind of getting weird again, because originally they shut everything down and there was so much uncertainty in the industry that car companies, car dealerships were basically giving cars away, crazy incentives to get people to keep buying cars. And then all of a sudden it snapped back in the other direction. So then flash forward, the used market gets all crazy, and I was looking at used trucks originally, used Fords, used Rams, and the trucks that I was seeing for about $33,000 to $35,000 were now jumping up towards $45,000, $48,000 even, and these were high mileage used cars. So I kind of started changing up my search to new cars and found this Bighorn out of Texas. Started chatting with the dealership a little bit, and I was like, you know what, I like this truck, but do you think you could come down a little bit? They said, what do you have in mind? Because that was back when you could still kind of sort of haggle with these trucks. So as I was chatting with them, I said, hey, this is the amount I'd like to pay out the door. They're like, yeah, sure thing. And then we kind of started adding a couple things on there, as it had to be shipped up to me. I didn't want to travel down there, as they were about 4 hours away from the nearest international airport, maybe an hour and a half from something where I'd have to do a puddle jumper, and I was looking at flights. It was going to cost me like $400 or $500 just to get there, not to mention the fuel to get back here. They said they could ship it up here for about $1,000, just roll it into the financing, totally fine. So it got super easy, and as the 00 hour was kind of coming down, I went into a Ford dealership, said, hey, this is what I'm getting on a Ram. I'm kind of torn between the two. Can you match it? They couldn't get within like $8,000 of even the after shipment, after all the fees, after everything like that. So it was like, okay, I'm going for the Ram. Went into a Ram dealership because they had a similar one here locally. They couldn't come within $6,000 of it, so I left that dealership, immediately called up the dealership down in Texas, and let them know to go ahead and ship the truck up here. It got here on a Sunday, and I was super excited and ordered the lift kit a week later. That was of course back ordered. So long story short, I basically just followed the deal. I am a big fan of this Cummins motor. I think even the Power Stroke motor, the 6.7, and kind of the reliability that's been built into that over 10 years that platform has been a thing, I've been really impressed with it. I don't think that the doom and gloom of Ford and Ram and a lot of the problems that people say that they have are necessarily as big of a deal when you compare it to the operating costs of literally any other truck in the industry. So I know a lot of you guys came to this video kind of looking for a pro-Ram rah-rah type thing, but really I just followed the deal at that point, and I've been really impressed. I actually love this truck. It is really the only truck that is in the segment that has a cloth interior that's worth a damn. The rest of the cloth interiors look and feel like work trucks. That's my biggest draw to the Ram brand, other than, I mean, the Cummins is nice. Only 850 pound-feet of torque, but only compared to the 1,000 pound-feet of torque in a lot of the other 2500s. So far, it's been a great truck, 35,000 miles on it. It did actually show up with about 1,000 miles on it. It was like right around 900 when it showed up. So I assumed that it was used as an off-demo vehicle. And when I thought about calling up the dealership and being like, hey, it's kind of iffy that you guys sent a truck up here with 900 miles. What's the deal with that? And then I looked at what I was paying compared to the deals that I was seeing out on the internet, all the other forums that I was a part of. And I said, you know what? We'll just let this pass. So hopefully you enjoyed the video. Please give this a thumbs up. Give me a subscribe. I'm going to do a couple of videos on like 3 things I love about my truck, 3 things I don't really like about my truck. But those are for a later date. I'm really excited to show a little bit more of an in-depth review on my lift kit that I put on there. Of course, I put the Thurin kit on there after I took the Icon kit off. So really excited to bring a lot of those videos to you guys. But thanks for watching. If you made it this far, please give me that thumbs up, give me that subscribe. Cheers, y'all.